Hello everyone. So in today's class, we will learn simple pendulum. This is the application of simple harmonic motion. And first of all, what is the simple pendulum? A heavy point-sized mass suspended by a massless, inextensible, torsionless string is called an ideal simple pendulum. Massless means this string should not have any mass. Inextensible means with the load, it should not extend. Torsionless means it should not have any twist stored inside the string, right? And this is called your ideal simple pendulum. Practically, what we are using, thread and bob, spherical bob, we are using as a simple pendulum. So length of pendulum, that is denoted by small l, is what? So distance between the point of suspension to the center of gravity of the spherical bob is nothing but what your length of simple pendulum. And if we will see the diagram, see this yellow one is the spherical bob and this is the radius of this bob. From bottom of the bob to the point of suspension is capital L. This is not the length of simple pendulum. So you can see here from point of suspension to center of gravity is length of pendulum. And that's why I have written here small l is equal to capital L minus R. Draw this diagram, note down these points. Okay, next. Now, see here, when we are just pulling this pendulum this side and leaving, it will oscillate like this about its mean position, right? You can see here, this is the mean position, this is extreme position, this is also extreme position. When it is going this side, it is providing some angular displacement, that is theta. And when it is at extreme position, there is a tension in the string. And if we will resolve the components, then vertically downward, you are having mg, which is weight of this bob. And this component is mg cos theta, this component is mg sine of theta. So now it will have two accelerations. Radial acceleration is provided by the net radial force, that is T minus mg cos theta. This is what your radial acceleration. Yes. And another one is tangential acceleration, which is provided by mg sine theta. That's why this component will always try to bring this bob towards its mean position. It means what? This component is responsible to reduce the angular displacement. So it will bring it near. When it is bringing near, this angular displacement decreases. And now let's find out torque tau about the support is entirely provided by which component? Tangential component, that is what? mg sine of theta. So let's see what is this torque. So now you can see here, this torque tau is equal to what we are having. This component into this perpendicular length. Basically, we have formula, that is force into perpendicular distance. This is what torque formula. Force into perpendicular distance. Now here we are having component, that is mg sine theta, which is responsible for producing torque, and this is L. But I am keeping minus sign. Why I am keeping minus sign? Because this is restoring torque and it always tends to reduce angular displacement. Hence, it is a negative sign. Why negative sign? Negative sign is because it is restoring torque. It is restoring torque. Concentrate, very important. It is restoring torque. And it reduces it reduces angular displacement. But it is reducing angular displacement. That's why it is negative sign. Okay. Now, let us suppose this is your equation number 1. We know from rotational motion, yes, we know from rotational motion, what we are having, torque tau is equal to I into alpha, where I is what? I is moment of inertia. I is what? Moment of inertia. And alpha is what? Alpha is angular acceleration. Yes or no? Okay. Now, if theta is very, very small, because this angular displacement is very, very small, then what happens here? If theta is very, very small, then can I treat that this sine theta is nearly equal to theta? Yes. And therefore, can I write like this, torque tau is equal to minus mg L into this theta. Okay, I have just changed this equation, and let us suppose equation number 3. Note down these all points, draw the diagram nicely, okay, and let's move ahead. Now, from equation 2 and 3, what we got, see, from equation 2 and 3, if you will see here, this left hand side is same, so I am equating this right hand side. So what I am getting, I alpha is equal to minus mgl theta. I alpha is equal to minus mgl theta. So that implies alpha is equal to minus mgl by I into theta. Call this equation number 4. Okay. Now, we have another equation, that is alpha is equal to, we know angular acceleration, hai na? We have learned. We know alpha is equal to minus omega square theta. This is your equation number 5. Now, can I equate these two? So, equating equation 4 and 5, equating equations 4 and 5, what we are getting, see, omega square is equal to, shall I write whole thing if you want? Okay. So, see here, minus omega square theta is equal to minus mgl by I into theta. This theta and this theta will get cancelled. Minus and minus will get cancelled. So what we got? So we got omega square is equal to mgl by I. Okay. Now, I is equal to, you know, I is moment of inertia. This is ml square. And therefore, omega square is equal to mgl by ml square. This m and this m cancel. This l also will get cancelled. So what we are getting, omega square is equal to g by l. Now omega is equal to what? 2 pi by t. So 2 pi by t whole square is equal to g by l. And therefore 2 pi by t taking square root is equal to root of g by l. Okay. So now, if I am taking reciprocal, then t by 2 pi is equal to under root of L by G, and therefore t is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. This is what the time period of simple pendulum. Yes. So see note point, very small note point. First frequency, number one frequency, f is equal to 1 by t, and therefore f is equal to 1 by 2 pi under root of G by L. Just reciprocal you have to do. Second note point, t is directly proportional to root L. Yes, t is directly proportional to root L if G is constant. Yes, and t is inversely proportional to root G if L is constant. Keep it in mind. Okay, so t is directly proportional to root L if G is constant, t is inversely proportional to root G if L is constant. Is that clear? Understood? Yes. Now, one more point. What is the seconds pendulum? It is very important. They are asking so many times. Seconds pendulum. What is this seconds pendulum? I'm writing very small here below. You can see this seconds pendulum. So see, the pendulum whose time period of oscillation is equal to 2 seconds, is 2 seconds. Okay, so therefore t is equal to 2 seconds, or even you can write like this, 2 pi under root L by G is equal to 2. If you will solve this by substituting G is equal to 9.8, then you may get L is equal to length of pendulum how much? Nearly 1 meter. Understand? This is what length of seconds pendulum. How much that is? 1 meter. If you will solve this by substituting, then you will get L is equal to 1 meter. That is what? Length of seconds pendulum. Length of SP. SP क्या है? Seconds pendulum. Nearly 1 meter. Understood? Is that clear? Yes? Okay. Understand? Let's move ahead. You can note down this. Pause the video and note down. Okay. Next one. That is graph. So number one. First one is L versus T square graph. L versus T square. If we will plot the graph, that is L versus T square, what happens and how what we can calculate from this graph? Let's see. If we will plot this graph, that is L versus T square, I am taking L on x-axis and T square on y-axis. This is L and this is T square. So when I am plotting this graph, the nature of graph is straight line passing through the origin, and this is what your theta. If we will take the slope of the graph, that is m is equal to tan of theta, which is equal to what we are getting? T square by L. Yes or not? This is what? Slope. And as we know, T is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. If I am squaring, I am getting T square is equal to 4 pi square L by G. So this L I am transferring here. So what I am getting, see, T square by L is equal to 4 pi square by G. What I got, T square is equal to 4 pi square by G. And therefore, if I want to find G, what I can do? So therefore, G is equal to 4 pi square, 4 pi square into L by T square, L by T square, which is nothing but the slope value, 1 by slope value. And this is used, it is used to find acceleration due to gravity at given place. Even we can calculate what is the gravity at our college, or we have this practical also. We will do it later. It is used to find acceleration due to gravity at given place. Check it once. Okay, clear. This is what we can calculate gravity from this graph at given place. Next graph, that is second one, L versus T graph. If we will plot this graph, the nature of this graph is like this. Like this graph. Okay. This is L versus T graph. Clear? Understand? And one more, that is third one, or we can say just intersection. The intersection point of this combined graph, right? What happens? See, combined, that is L versus T and L versus T square. What happens if we will combine these two graphs? See here. This is T or T square, and first graph already we know this is like this straight line you are getting, L versus T square graph, and another graph you got something like this. Okay, like this graph. So like this you got something graph, and if you will see the point of intersection of this, this L is equal to 25 centimeter here. Here T is equal to 1 second, right? Okay, so when this graph will plot, then time period is equal to 1 second and L is equal to 25 centimeter. From this graph we can calculate. Understand? So this is what the graph of this simple pendulum. Just go through it. Don't skip the class, and please tell your friends also to watch this, because this is very important. Okay. Let's stop here for today. Bye. Enjoy the day.